G'day, this is Simon and James at what I think is our biggest South OC Cars and Coffee of all time. Mate, we've got so much stuff going on. Let's talk about that.
It is a huge day today. We have Red Bull F1 that brought out a championship winning car here driven by Sebastian Vettel from 2010. That car is mental. We have a bunch of Koenigseggs here, a ton of other crazy supercars, hypercars, everything that you guys could possibly want to see. What have you seen?
Just the people. I mean, have a look over our heads. If we pan around just the number of people at this show, it is by far the biggest show that we have ever done. Some crazy stuff. We got Reviver here doing their activation of their digital license plates. We got Continental here doing promos. We got so much great stuff. Let's go for a walk and check some things out.
Let's do it.
It would be remiss of me if I did not start the show with a pan around the crowd. Have a look at this. Definitely the biggest crowd we've ever had at the show. Absolutely crazy. Going to start off with some of the people we got here. Of course, we got Polestar down there and been our sponsors for a long time, as have Maguire's. Really appreciate those guys. The newest guys are Reviver digital license plates. Now, the cool thing about Reviver is you have the ability of having a license plate that looks like this. So really nice looking plate, really nice and clean. Notice the tagline on the bottom. The great thing about this is you can actually renew your registration using an app, so you don't have to have the sticker on there, which always drives me insane getting that thing straight. But also it has telematics, so if the car gets stolen, it'll send you a text message to that app and you can actually mark the plate as stolen vehicle. The other thing you can do is that you can actually change the background color from white or black or white. So you've got the ability of changing both of those colors as you want. Now, this demo car they've got here, this is the brand new BMW i7. Have a look at how luxurious this thing is. Check out all the carbon fiber up here and the screen that drops down from the roof. And that amazing seat. This is the most incredible car. Beautiful, beautiful interior materials. Notice there's a touch screen actually on the armrest as well. So wonderful, wonderful interior materials. And then that dash in here, if we have a look around here, that full digital dash. Luxurious, huh? Notice there's actually a footrest on the back, so when you're reclining back in the seat, you got the ability of being super comfortable in this thing. So, Reviver, make sure to check those guys out. The big draw, have a look at the people around here. We have Red Bull here, there's Max standing there. Well, not really Max, it's a vinyl cutout of Max, but check this out. This is one of their 2010 championship cars sitting here. One of the easiest ways to tell that this is one of the older cars, of course, there is no halo. So the modern cars have the halo that actually protects the driver. In this era, if somebody came over the top of you, you were going to die. That's one of those things that they made a lot safer. This particular car doesn't have a motor in it. When it was built, I think it would have probably had a Renault engine in it. This is actually all marked up with the current sponsors, including Honda. Of course, they've been using Honda since about 2020 or 21, I think. But great to have this here nonetheless. It's so super lightweight. We push this into place and literally you can push this thing with one hand. So great to have the guys from Red Bull here doing this activation. Great to have this Red Bull car here and given the crowd of people around. Hey guys, you like having this here? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Pushing my way through the crowd. We got Continental here again today. Great range of tyres on display. These guys are doing some really good stuff. They've actually got some high performance tyres, which they've recently released, and really great stuff. So they're here doing a draw to win a prize, as well as giving away hats. Thanks guys, thanks for coming out. Remember, if you go to our website, you can check out all of our sponsors online. Continental Tyre, great to have them here today as well. It's going to be tough to do our normal video tour just because, well, had so many people here. But we'll try. James's car got some brand new HREs on it down here. I want to show these, check these out. So, unbelievable 5-spoke wheel. Really lovely car. Now next to it, I'm going to shoot it from over here. Just rolled in. Look at this beautiful Chiron Bugatti that's in here. Just a wonderful looking car. We can sneak through and show it. The interior colour is just beautiful in this car. So, excuse me guys, can we just shoot past you there? Excuse me, have a look at this, just the beautiful blue weave on the car, beautiful interior. The wonderful thing with Bugatti is just the colour schemes that they put in there. I mean, have a look at the beautiful weave everything in this car, absolutely wonderful.
Here we have one of the most beautiful SF90s that I have ever seen. This one belongs to Josh from Bowden Auto House. I know that he ordered this car about 2 years ago, and it just finally showed up. It has a beautiful set of HREs. This thing is absolutely slammed just like the rest of his cars. What a beautiful example. So Tim brought out a couple of his crazy eggs this morning. You can see we have the Agera RS and the Regera next to it. I know that you guys are abundantly familiar with both of these cars, but it is still so cool to have these here nonetheless. This is the record-setting car, and then this, of course, Regera has the beautiful blue exposed carbon. Two absolutely beautifully spec'd Koenigsegg's at South OC Cars with Coffee. So this is what I would consider almost a forgotten hypercar. This is the F12 TDF, the most beautiful rear-wheel drive Ferrari in my opinion. It has a V12 in this car. I love this super light paint on it. You can see it has all these crazy vents all over it, tons of carbon, beautiful carbon ceramic brakes. What a gorgeous car.
Previous car of the week winner, this Lamborghini that's kind of not a Lamborghini. What do you do when you find a Lamborghini salvage title? You make something new out of it. Check that out in the back. That is actually out of a Lexus, huge turbo on it. Go back and check out our car of the week video on this thing where we talk about how it was built. There's so much cool stuff going on in this thing, including the suspension. Have a look at that down through there. Full-blown race car, but you know, the purists, I loved watching the comments on YouTube. The purists were absolutely squirming, and I love that. I love anything that makes the people that go, you shouldn't do that to a Lamborghini. I mean, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Why not? If he hadn't done what he'd done to it, this car would still be probably sitting somewhere as a wreck. Instead, it's got a new life, and it's getting more eyes on it than probably most other Lamborghinis would. Absolutely great to see.
Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Facts, lot of haters. Tell me where they at, though. I'm the new.
Here we have a really neat 600 LT. You can see it's a beautiful black and orange livery on that. A carbon hood, and then the factory roof scoop as well, so you know this thing is serious. Probably a crazy MSRP from the factory. Tons of options. Very, very nice.
Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Here we have my absolute favorite Huracan, the Lamborghini Huracan STO. This one finished in Viola Pacife, a beautiful metallic purple. You can see the only thing this one's missing is a supercharger down through there. It needs it, but aside from that, this is a really cool, unique spec.
Going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
So you look at this, go, what is this thing? Well, this is a car in the making. This is going to be a Daytona coupe, and this is at one of its phases of being built. As you can see, the framework's up, roll cages in it, has the motor in there as well, and a bit of carbon fiber as well. So doing good, looking good. So if you ever wondered what it takes to build one of these cars, if you want to do a kit car like a factory 5, something like that, this is what you start off with. This is what you build, and you can see what it's going to look like. Next to it, Exhibit A, you're on it. Tim with his car, which is also a factory 5, in this case Cobra. So it's a really good way if you want to be a little hands-on with your car, build it yourself, do stuff to feel like you've actually built the car. It's a really, really good way of doing it. This gives you a bit of an idea of the work in front of you. It's not something you would want to do for the light-hearted, but if you've got a bit of time on your hands, why not have a go? This car's a previous car of the week winner. This is Lunch Money, twin turbo LS, a ton of power. This gentleman over here is the gentleman that built this car. A ton of work in it, and it's super cool. It really, really is. He's done a great job. Shoot on the back. It's really quick and a great build. So make sure to go back and check this out as our previous car of the week winner. We got some cool American muscle, starting with this beautiful 69 Camaro. Big block, very, very clean, really nice looking car. Just absolutely love it. Next to it, Corvette. One thing about this stout car that stands out, have a look at the size of the rubber on this thing on the back. Absolutely huge. This is one of the regulars of the show. Over here, another beautiful 69. Next to it, 32 Coupe. This is super clean as well, isn't it? Looks really, really nice. Over here, 56 F100. This is clean too. How do I know it's not a 55? Because the windshield wraps around. If it was a 55, it would be a flat windshield. 56 wrapped around. Looks like this has got the purest will squirm. That's a small block Chev sitting in there. So really, really interesting seeing all these different sort of cars. Le Citroen. Interesting car. These things, notice the headlight is turned when the wheels are turned. One of the first cars to do that. Incredibly safe car for its time. Spare wheel, then the radiator, and notice there's a heat shield between the spare wheel there as well, and then the motor's set right back. And they had a lot of interesting things in these cars, including the hydraulic suspension, but polarizing aesthetic, but really interesting. Next to it, great little car. Look at this here. This is a little Caterham. They are arguably one of the best track day cars. I know there's a lot of the new stuff like the KTM, like the Ariel Atom, but for the purists, this is the one that they want to drive. It's this little Caterham. They got some great features. Does this have the sequential box with the straight cut gear?
It's got a 6-speed Caterham transfer.
It has a 6-speed Caterham,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of different things in some of these cars. One of them was that sequential.
Right.
gear.
The 610, the supercharged, high-end one has a sequential. But all of the sequential ones are right-hand drive.
Oh, interesting. Where God intended the driver to sit, says the Australian. Always good to see you. Always great seeing these cars at the show.
Girls with their nails done.
That is it for the biggest South OC Cars and Coffee that I think we have ever had. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching, and also coming to the event if you were here. I want to say a huge thank you to all the sponsors. We have the brackets here, Wear Marketing, McGuire's, Polestar, the PDM brands, Next Level Auto Protection, Happy Jewelers, Continental Tire, Reviver, Carbontastic, and Polaris Slingshot as well. And then I want to say a huge thank you to all the volunteers for helping us put on this event each and every week. We could not do it without you guys. Remember, if you want to volunteer, hit us up on Instagram at South OC Cars and Coffee Merch. So we handle all the volunteer rostering, and then while you're over there, check out some of the new designs, new t-shirts, hoodies, everything that we have over there. Please remember as well, if you are volunteering, you get to bring your car in before 8:30. And then Ruby's Diner does also provide a free coffee and donut for everyone helping out.
Yeah, big thank you to Ruby's for doing that and feeding the masses, and boy are there some masses today. It is absolutely huge. Also to the outlets of San Clemente for their support as well. Remember, if you need to do any shopping, want to go to a restaurant, want to come to a Starbucks or go to the movies, come to the outlets, tell them South OC Cars and Coffee sent you. That is it. Please remember to follow our rules: no speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes getting on off the freeway and in the streets of San Clemente as well. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.
Thank you guys.